In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie.
Welcome to the podcast, Bayley. Right out of the gate, I wanted to talk to you and want to talk big things about the new album, because the new album, you have a new album out. I already mentioned it, called The War Within Me. Is it War Within Me or The War Within Me?
War Within Me.
All right. And this album you put out just a couple weeks ago digitally, last month in April.
Yeah.
And the big news is, do you want to just go right out with the bombshell? Do you want to tell the folks what's happening?
Well, everything has been delayed apart from the digital. And
not the good news, folks.
the CDs were delayed, all COVID related. And the vinyl had the longest delay. There's already a 3-month waiting list at the factory because of so many people doing vinyl. We had that incorporated into our deadlines, but then with COVID and everything, it's made it all late. But the big news is the actual vinyl arrives at Castle Blaze this week, and I will be signing it and posting it on Friday. Oh, yeah.
I feel like we should have some animation for that. It should be some sound effects, something like a jingle that Robbie Miller could have written for this. I mean, it seems, but actually your voice, you have the voice, not just for radio. You have the voice for podcast, Blaze.
Oh, thanks, man. That's very kind. Very kind. That check is in the mail.
When you talk about Blaze Castle, because we did some research and we found out that you're from the South, Birmingham, and we've had another particular lead singer from Birmingham on In the Trenches not that long ago, Mr. Rob Halford, and I can only imagine that the two of you have met.
I'm going to stop you there, Ryan, because Birmingham is the middle of England.
Geography challenge.
Right, and Rob, I think he will be slightly annoyed. Things, as you get local, get a little bit tense. Rob is not from Birmingham as such. He's from the Black Country, which is between Birmingham and Wolverhampton, and that's where I live as well. So it's slightly different. It's a Birmingham area, but Black Country is a place which is unique, and that's where Rob is from. It's a place, the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, which of course became historically the cradle of heavy metal. Oh yeah.
Don't know much about geography. I'm getting schooled, folks. In the Trenches, getting schooled by Mr. Blaze Bayley about UK geography. And apparently,
saying, if you don't want to get into a fight,
I know.
See, Rob, it's best to say, are you from the Black Country then, Rob? And but things will be okay for you then.
Well, if I was in a fight, I'd be in his solo band Fight. Yeah. There you go. But no, okay, so it's Cardiff. Am I right in saying Cardiff is south? And
Cardiff is
damn, I'm wrong again.
West, man. Like
okay.
You're in this trap of you're in this geography trap of London being in the middle.
All right. So Birmingham's just a little bit south of London. Birmingham is, right?
No, man.
It's north. It's north.
So just stop now. Let's move on to the music because he's getting.
You're in Castle. Okay, Castle Blaze is in Manchester. That's what I just wanted to get.
No. Yes, it is. Yes, it is in Manchester.
Damn, I just wanted to get that straight. Damn it.
Castle Blaze is Bury near Manchester, where they invented the very first battery for storing large amounts of wind power. Electricity.
Fucking talking.
Because the problem is with renewables. The problem is with renewables that you can't store the stuff, right? When you're online with a big power station, that comes down the line in the electricity, but you can't turn that power station off. it takes days to turn it off and turn it back on. The renewables, because there were no batteries to store the electric from renewables,
Right.
they kept the power stations going. Now there are batteries which are being developed, invented in Bury, where you can actually store large amounts of electricity in the battery, and it's just like a backwards freezer. That's how it works. And this is
Blaze, are you like this kind of like Elon Musk character that actually has his own, alternative energy source? You definitely have a lot of energy. Are you right now hooked up to wind power right now? Because you seem to have a lot of energy today.
No, what I am is I'm metal. I have the power of metal, and I have this album, which is to transmit energy to my fans. So when my fans have War Within Me album playing, they have more energy. That's it.
There you go. You can actually on the album cover, you can actually see the source of all renewable energy. It's in the center of Blaze Bayley's skull, apparently, according to your album cover. Or is that a war going on inside your head? What is it? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, that's the war. And you'll see just behind me there is Nikola Tesla.
Get out.
Yeah, just behind my left ear, there's Nikola Tesla is just over there, you see, going towards a black hole behind Stephen Hawking.
Oh my God, there's so much going on. We're going to break it all down because those are 11 tracks. I was going to, you know what? The bombshell you already dropped the vinyls out. You're going to be signing it with, are you going to be signing it with a renewable energy Sharpie or what kind of?
No, I always use these pens.
You had a pen endorsement?
From Germany, and it's a paint pen.
A paint pen, yeah, of course.
Hideously expensive, but it's the only thing that I found will consistently go over hundreds of items. A Sharpie will always wear out. It'll lose the flow. You'll have bad ones. This one, you treat it carefully. It'll last. I think it's about 800 to 1,000 items you can do.
You are Elon Musk. There's some evil genius going on inside that war inside your head right now, my friend. So there it is. Blaze Bayley approved. Got to use a paint pen. For all those that were asking out there, because I always thought the Sharpie was the sort of signature pen of choice when you're on the road. But when you're doing apparently album signings, go for the paint pen. I'm a lefty, so I have to be a little bit careful because the paint always gets on that part of my hand.
That's going to be difficult for you.
We've established that. Are you a right-handed person, I guess?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
All right. Well, I was going to talk about that album cover just because we're already talking about the War Within, and then, of course, we're going to go back to Get Forward. But one of my favorite songs I listened to today was the Unstoppable Stephen Hawking.
Yeah,
and that was actually track 10 of these 11 tracks, folks.
No, it's not 11 tracks.
It's not 11 tracks. Okay,
no,
I'm wrong.
10 tracks, man. Sorry, Ryan, to contradict you on your own show, mate.
No, you're right. You're right. I just couldn't. It's your 11th. It's your 11th studio album.
Yeah, and that's
where I got hooked up.
The reason that you will think that it appears to be, and it in fact is in one way, the last song on the album is of the collection of songs is the Unstoppable Stephen Hawking, but that's track 9. So what we do is we go from track 1, we go on the journey, end up at track 9 as the Unstoppable Stephen Hawking. That's the end, and then we kind of reprise things by coming to the last song, which is Every Storm Ends. And so it's kind of separate, but it is the ending to the whole story. The ending to the collection of songs is the Unstoppable Stephen Hawking. I wanted to do a tribute to the man, not just the scientist. Of course, genius, incredible, wrote books. He's Stephen Hawking radiation, loads of incredible things in physics that he worked out. But for me, the important thing was the man and the courage of the man, They told him he had 3 years to live. Mr. Hawking, most people who have this condition are dead in 3 years. That's what they said to him. He said, I've got too much work to do. And 49 years later, he's giving a lecture on the other side of the world from a wheelchair, and he's found a way to communicate, sold out lecture, utterly brilliant. Now, if I'm faced with a situation where my body becomes almost useless and I have to go by a wheelchair, what am I going to do? I can't imagine the courage and the strength to just keep going against what appears to be impossible circumstances. I can't imagine that. So how did that man do that? And one of my favorite quotes from Stephen Hawking is, focus on what you can do. That's it. That's one of the ultimate quote. People say, how do you keep going? How do you do this? Have you got any advice for other people with disabilities? And Stephen Hawking said, focus on what you can do. And for me, you know, I suffer with depression and have my ups and downs mentally. So it's just incredible. And we had that idea in the vault for quite a while, and we got it back out, and it was the Hawk, it was called. And
the Hawk. Oh, yeah, man. I wonder if that was his nickname. That probably had to be his nickname, right?
Well, it was on The Simpsons. That's what the inspiration was. That it was on The Simpsons, and Homer goes, "Hey, Hawk," and I thought, man, that's so cool. That team behind The Simpsons, they are so cool, man. That's so smart. I thought, wow, and that was it. The Eye of the Hawk. That was the center of the song, and we had it for years. And we bought it back out for these writing sessions. And I think it was Chris Appleton, who's the co-producer, co-writer with me. He said, I think we need, you know, something a bit different for the chorus. And we jammed and we jammed, and Unstoppable came. And it just seemed completely appropriate to the man that had the death sentence, but refused to give in.
He had to invent black. I mean, I remember as a kid him talking about black holes, and the general public thinking, "Yeah, he's crazy. This is not, you know, this is all rubbish. This is all just hyperbole." And boom, now it's our reality.
Yeah, and the lyric is it uses the black holes in the lyric because it uses one of his quotes in. Yeah, that's it, man. He uses one of his quotes. Don't give up if you're in a black hole, because it's not as black as people once thought. That's the start of the song. And that's the Hawk, man. You know, I was thinking, I'm no scientist, man. I'm no physicist. But I was thinking, it doesn't make sense to me that something just squashes up and disappears. Something has to come out. If you compress it, and then that's it. Hawking radiation, all of this, and you know, and now that's it. The center of every galaxy is a black hole. That's where we are right now.
Dude.
How that affects us musically, I don't know. But
so far, so hold on, let me catch folks up. So far with our lead vocalist, special guest, Bayley, we've been talking UK geography, we've been talking alternative energy and Stephen Hawking, and we haven't even hit the 15-minute mark. So great.
Sorry.
Who knows what else we're going to dive into.
I'm Ryan Roxie, and I've taken all my years of experience of playing guitar, and I want to pass the torch of rock and roll on to you. Check out the System 12 Guitar Method.